Good afternoon, class. So today is 27th of April, and we will have to cover the current affairs of today. The first news is related to the daily cases. According to a particular test that has been run by the IIT model, on the basis of that, there have been a prevalence that the cases may hit about at 4.4 lakh by the 8th of May. Now, there may be certain, maybe they have not calculated with respect to the lockdown that the moment have also restricted, so they may not be so much large in number, because the earlier survey we also had the same contrasting feature that we are currently suffering. Some people are saying that the already we are have hit the peak in India. Some persons are saying that their peak is yet to come, but already we are seeing a steady state in which only 3.5 lakh cases, although they are not only, they are in huge amount, but this is what the cases we are actually receiving in India every day. So these are some of the things that has been said, and there is a issue with regard to the management of how the COVID practices has been going on. So there have been reprimands by the Madras High Court, who have directly accused the Election Commission of India on being too lenient with respect to the political rallies that became the hotspot ground with respect to the infections and the transmission of the virus from one person to another that may soon broke out after the elections are over or after the results are announced. The second issue is with respect to the Niti Aayog member statement, that is Dr. V.K. Paul. He is the member of Niti Aayog and basically is the coordinator with respect to the COVID management strategy within the country. Now, he have issued a statement online. There is a video that is available online. You can see him speaking. He have referred to the common public that even if there is a case at home that is currently suffering from mild symptoms of coronavirus and there is another person, so as it has been ascertained that the coronavirus or the COVID would only be getting transmitted in the air, so he has suggested to the common public that they should also use masks at home. Now, that is a other suggestion that he have given, and specifically he has said that everyone should wear mask even at home. If there is a somebody who is getting infected at home or even living in the same building, then you should also practice the same. So it is more concerning with respect to the urban areas where the people are residing in close proximity to one another, as this virus can travel through air from one place to another. There is a possibility of higher transmission and the more population may get affected directly or indirectly. If that may be the case, the peak is still to come. The peak has not yet come. There are some predictions also which say that almost 5 times the death and 4 times the cases are being not yet reported by the government of India in its official estimate. According to the reality, India has been one of the worst country that is affected by the COVID, and according to the official estimate, it is the second worst affected by the COVID infection. So these are some of the things estimate that we have to look for. Right now, the death toll is approximately 3,000 per day, but the suggestions or the discussions that are currently going on, they are saying that the death toll is currently at near about 10,000 or between 12,000 every day. That is taking huge toll on the population and mortality, and also with respect to the record of the government in the management of the COVID virus. So I hope this is clear. The next one is Nomadland wins big at pandemic Oscars. So this is the second time this particular woman have won Oscar. There was another movie of her, pretty good movie. I have forgotten. I think that came in 2014 or 2015. चलिए सर्च कर लीजिएगा. Earlier she was also nominated for Oscars, and this time she have received the Oscar same for the movie called as Nomadland. Now, further moving on, there will be a separate list on the basis of the Oscar that will provide you details with respect to the various awards that have been given. If you do not want to read it, you can skip this particular part. The next one is undermining vaccination for all. Now, please understand, the article is written in a type of a very taking consideration into all the things that are surrounding the COVID. If you have not familiar with any of the things that are happening with the COVID, please do read this article. This is not a difficult article. I will only touch upon the important point what these two persons have said. Now, first of all, when everyone was, the philosophy that India have been adopting is the rapidly opening of the economy and lives and livelihood possibility with respect to the management of the people who are in poverty, and also with respect to the administration of the vaccine to a large section of people. When we talk about the after 1st May applications of the vaccination, there is a statement that has been said by certain WHO dignitaries who have said that the country will only be safe if the every individual is safe. So even if there is one individual who is infected with COVID, the country will not be safe, or basically suggesting that every individual in the country should have been vaccinated, then only we can say, or even if 70% of the population is vaccinated, that is traveling from here to there, then we can say thoroughly that this particular virus has been contained. Now, in that particular part, there are two things after 1st May that are going to happen. There is going to be increased coverage, extended coverage, and there is going to be deregulation. The extended coverage in the form of the persons earlier were 45 years of age and above, the health workers and the frontline workers. But now there have been coverage with respect to the all persons who are between the age of 18 to 44 years. So basically everybody is going to be there. The second one is deregulation, in which the government control with respect to the government mandated provided vaccine, which was earlier provided free, has been deregulated, and there have been three channels or three tiers that has been created. One is the central government, second one is the state government, and the third one is the private authorities. Now in that there is another hidden agenda that the government have still not mentioned. They have extended approximately $45 million for ramping up the facility in the institutes that are the Serum Institute of India and the Bharat Biotech Institute, for ramping up the facilities. Now in those particular three things, you need to understand that right now the capacity of the Serum Institute of India within a particular month is 100 million doses. So that generally amounts to 10 crore doses. So when we talk about 10 crore doses, the actual reality is that they are only able to produce half the capacity, operating at 50 to 60%. So only 50 to 60 crore doses are being produced. Just a second, class. 100 million, 1 million is equal to 10 lakh. Yeah. So only 50 to 100 million is equal to 10 crore. So only 5 to 6 crore doses are produced, not 50 to 60 crore. Now 5 to 6 crore doses are being produced in that particular part. So we will have to ramp up the vaccines from outside. That is a clear stated fact. We cannot keep our eyes on. So we may be consulting with the foreign companies in the near upcoming month regarding the vaccination that is needed to be provided, and we may be buying the vaccines even from Russia or even from USA or even some other countries such as South Korea and Japan. Now in that particular part, there have been, if there are only right now the condition stands, there is raw material problem with respect to Serum Institute of India and no financial capacity. The financial capacity is taken care of by Indian government. The raw material is still being released into a particular manner by the US government. It is being said that the US government currently have approximately 25 to 30 crore vaccine under the vaccine nationalism that they have propagated in the first pandemic or the first COVID wave, which have actually provided for 50 to 60 crore vaccine doses being kept in stock for all the people who might need it in the near future. Now, the three-tiered or three-layer structure has also created problem and confusion. There is a central government, there is a state government, and there is a private company. Who will decide the cost? What will be the cost? That is still currently debated. When it comes to state government, the state government will be forced under to public pressure with respect to providing the free medicines or free doses of vaccines to all those individuals who are within the particular state or who will be getting the vaccine in the state, because that is what it is going to happen. So that is the licensing that is currently not open, and that is how it is actually helping the or making the common people with respect to the bearing of the burden of the vaccines. The next one is the another wave spells more nutrition loss. So already we have talked about multiple articles regarding the nutrition that is currently reeling in India. Already we have seen there is problem with respect to the nutrition in India. There is a survey that has been conducted in the 64 districts in the Bimaru state, most probably Bihar, Chhattisgarh, Gujarat, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Odisha, Rajasthan, and Telangana and Uttar Pradesh. Now, do not remember all the state numbers, just remember the fact. They have conducted a survey in which they have found certain stark differences with respect to the data that is available. Already there are two things that are worth mentioning here before proceeding with the article. The Global Hunger Index this year, we have been ranked at 94 out of 107 countries. Last year we were also positioned at 102 out of the 117 countries in 2019. Now in that there were 4 criteria that are being adjudged, and these criteria is what these particular surveys has been conducted. Apart from that, we have a National Family Health Survey 2019 that just conducted a survey just before the pandemic, in which it has been said that the malnutrition and the stunting have increased with, sorry, the malnutrition and the underweight have increased within the country. That leads to direct conclusion that there have been non-availability of the food. The first reason, if there is availability of the food, the poor families are not able to buy it. Even if they are able to buy the food, they are not able to buy the nutritious food. So these are the three things that we need to consider. Now, with the case of the pandemic, the income of the families have declined, so it was directly on the central government to bear up the possibility or bear up the responsibility with respect to the availability of the food articles. They have done it up to a certain amount. This time they also knew that the COVID wave is rising, so a lot of people are not able to work in the urban settings. So now they are moving to the rural areas, and in the rural areas there is availability of now more than 5 kg of wheat and rice per person to a particular family. That will be providing them food security for the month of April and May. Now, apart from that, there have been the decline in the income. As the decline in the income have happened, there is approximately another start, the Pew Research that we have, that there are 32 million people, that is approximately 3.2 crore people, who have basically shrunk from the middle class. So there were only one person who was working in the private sector because he have gotten a job, but he was laid off the job because the pandemic have completely shut down the businesses. So that have created another problem. When there is a survey, the 55% of the households, they are currently earning 5,000 rupees per month or less. That is also putting burden on them. Apart from that, when we talk about the food, the government have made food available, but it is only made rice and wheat available. There is a lack of nutritious food. The consumption with respect to the food have declined approximately between 40% to 28%. So whatever the persons were spending on food earlier, they have cut down on food. That is the absolute term. They are cutting down food on as a whole, a type of a basket they were going to consume. The second one is cutting down on food, pulses, vegetable, and the poultry items, the meat, that is down by 80%. So that is basically a huge contrast, that the major sources of proteins and nutritions are not available to a larger section of people, maybe because of the declining income with respect to the COVID pandemic that have occurred. Now they have also conducted another various, that which are the particular communities who are basically, or which are the particular classes who are basically more suffering or have suffered more with respect to the pandemic. So these are the migrant workers, the construction workers, and the urban poor, the stall and the vendors, because whatever they had saved over the years was spent during the pandemic. As they were reining up and ramping up again the facilities and the saving that they were having, again the second wave of the pandemic have put double burden on them. That is not going to make a better conditions for them, and therefore they are going to suffer the pressure more as compared to the other families. Okay, so this time it will be more harmful and more disintegrating and more demeaning to the poor families. So that is how the things has been going on. So what the government should do, the government should ramp up the facilities with respect to the children in midday meal schools, because children are going to suffer the most here. Then we have to provide an unemployment scheme with respect to the urban poor. We have MG Narega in rural areas, but we do not have any urban employment scheme that is propagated by the central government. We need to provide that. The households cannot rebuild their income, so if there is some form of universal basic income or a quasi basic income that is directly transferred to the poor household, because earlier there was 500 rupees that was transferred to the woman as a type of a sanction, but this time the government is not giving any money. So there is a need by the poor households of money so that they can be taken up. Now, these are all the issues that has been suggested. This article does not deal with the issue that from here the government will raise the money. But there is another article that have come up today written by Arun Kumar. He have talked about the new idea of taxation that is worth a try. Now, what is the new idea of taxation? First of all, you need to understand how the world economies have operated and what have been the history of the operation of the world economies. Right now, every country is suffering from different kind of pandemic losses. So there is increasing deficit within the government because of the increasing demand of the health sector. There have been increasing pressure on the finances of the country, and in that there have been the deficit that has been rising higher. We have seen in the case of India, the deficit have been closer to about 9.5% of the GDP. And in the case of USA, the deficit has been at about 15% of the total GDP. Now, as these cases were going on, there was a discussion at the international level among the countries that the corporate taxes has been at a pretty minimal low. The poor people are suffering, they do not have money. So there is a reform that was long overdue, in which the countries are basically competing with one another for the development of the business or the development of the industrial sector in their own country by lowering the tax rates. There is a need to have a limiting, or you can say a threshold, with respect to the tax rates that are needed to be decided. And the minimum tax rates, they can also vary with respect to the developed and the developing nations, as we have done in the case of the climate justice. We can also talk about the taxation justice that the companies can do. But as we look at the history, how it has started, first of all, during the time of USA, when there was a when USA was a global power after the Second World War, it emerged as a global power. Then that particular country, along with Europe, have talked for the taxation, but the poorer countries have kept the lower taxation in the way to attract more businesses to their own land. So the Eastern Europe and the region in the South Asia had low taxation destination. Now, apart from that, there have been the conclusions with respect to the other countries. Here they are developed countries such as Ireland, but these countries have very low taxation because there are no businesses that are available, and that is from here they are earning. So for example, Switzerland. Switzerland is also a type of a low tax place you can actually assume. Now, there have been disparities that are currently increasing within the nation, and Mr. Arun Kumar says that as the international community is coming together with regard to the discussions on have a common criteria or a limiting amount of taxation that is needed to be fixed, we need to argue about that particular idea. Now, what are the current provisions? We have base erosion profit shifting. I hope you remember base erosion profit shifting. It is a manner in which a company shift profits from a higher tax jurisdiction to a low tax jurisdiction. Now, in that, there have been issues with respect to the implementation, because it can only be implemented when the two countries agree with one another to share the taxation that is currently provided. In the same case, there is a case of Facebook and Google, which have approximately transferred a huge amount of taxes and huge amount of profit to Ireland. And in that particular statement, Mr. Obama at that particular time when he was president, he have said that Facebook and Google are basically not providing 100 billion in taxes that was actually overdue to the state of USA. Now, the corporates do not see this very good. There are certain corporates who see that the taxes on the risk should be increased, but the most of the corporates are against it. Now, there are another corollary to it. If the direct taxation is not increased because the inequalities in the world are increasing, then what will happen? The burden on the indirect taxes will be high. If there will be burden on the indirect taxes, there will be inflationary pressures. If inflationary pressures will be there, there will be less of consumption. And if there is less consumption, ultimately the goal of increasing the taxes will defy the objective at the first place. So the honest strategy, you can say, is to go ahead with the increasing of the taxes with respect to the countries, and have a particular agreement among the countries to tax the rich, and therefore it will be justified in the larger welfare and the interest of the nation. So I hope this is clear. The next one is DRDO developed crystal blades for aero engines. So this is a feat that has been achieved by helicopter nickel based super alloy has been used in a helicopter engine. Okay. उसके बाद जापान का पढ़ लीजिएगा, मोदी बाइडेन discussed. I will not go into that. Then further moving on. RBI cap says for 74 banks MD, CEO and director positions. So in that there have been various issues that has also been discussed with respect to the private bank directors MD and CEO, that what will be their tenure, remuneration, and what will be or for how much longer tenure they can exist at the helm of the affairs. So these are approximately 15 years जो RBI ने भी decide करा, that is only related to private companies, ये भी important नहीं है. Then there is India expected to invest 1 billion in artificial intelligence by 2023, but poor practices may cause 81 million loss. Now, what are the poor practices? The belief, the startup, the practices, the technology tools that are not available, and the optimization of the data that is still not available, or the privacy laws that are still not enacted in India. So these may be the basic, you can say, hurdles with respect to the application of the AI. There will be investment in the private sector approximately to 1 billion, but how effective it will be, we do not know. Out of 1 billion, there may be a loss of 81 million. Okay, so I think approximately 10% loss will be there. So we will have to see what will happen at the other stages. Okay, so I think that is it for today.